Because body weight fluctuations are based on calories in versus calories out, you need to know how many calories your body needs on a daily basis in order to gain, lose, or maintain your body weight. Hey everyone, Camber here, helping you stay fit for life. And today I'm going to show you my 4-step process for figuring out how many calories your body needs on a daily basis so that you can better track your food consumption to meet your body weight goals. But before we get to the first step, I want to point out that everyone is different, okay? And these calorie tracker apps as well as calorie burn apps on your smartwatches can all be very inaccurate. And that, coupled with lying or misleading food labels about how many calories different foods have, can make it very hard to accurately track what you're eating. But I'm going to show you how to get it as close to correct throughout this process. For step 1, we need to break out the computer. All right, so we're gonna bring up Google and I'm just gonna type in calorie calculator. And I'm gonna have the links to everything I talk about as well in the description, so you can just click on that instead of looking it up. But I'm gonna go to this first one here, calorie calculator. All right, so what we're finding out here is just our baseline, how many calories your body needs in a day. And remember, this stuff is not dead on, but we're just getting a baseline to work with. So for me, I'm gonna go with 32 for my age, male, 5'10", I'm about 170 pounds. And the important thing here is on activity level, we're gonna go to sedentary, little or no exercise, okay? We just want what the basic calories are gonna be just to be alive and go about your normal day. So calculate that. Boom, so I have 2,073 calories is what it gives me, and that is just to maintain my current body weight. So that's our initial number. In order to just stay where I am, if I ate 2,073 calories, that should keep me pretty much where I am with no exercise, just going about my day, eating food, going to work if you don't have some kind of manual labor, tough job, you know, sitting at a desk, computer, that type of thing. Okay, so now that we got a baseline, we're gonna get a calorie tracker app in order to accurately track what we're eating every day so we can see if we're hitting this amount above or below. There's all kinds of different things people use, but I'm gonna show you what I use. It's an old app that it's nothing fancy, but you really don't need it for what I'm gonna be doing. It's called Tap and Track, right here. All right, so similar thing here. You go in and make a profile. So I have 170 pounds, male, 32, 5'10", and same thing here. Make sure it says sedentary, because if I was to go into something like very active, working out, you know, 6 to 7 days a week, which I do a lot of times, that's telling me almost 3,100 calories. And if I ate that, I would definitely start gaining a lot of fat. So we're gonna go to sedentary. Same thing, I put no diet plan because I don't want it telling me what to do. I just want a baseline so I can have a number on here. And as you can see, it says 2154, but on the computer it said 2073. So as you can see, it varies depending on what you have. So I'm gonna go right about in the middle of those and go with 2100. So that works pretty well. Now for step 2, we're gonna figure out how many calories we're gonna burn on a weekly basis for exercise and then divide that out evenly among the weeks so we can eat roughly the same amount every day. So the way that I track my calorie burn is with the activity app on my Apple Watch. I always use the open workout form unless I'm actually going for a certain distance and wanna see how far I'm going. But this just does your workout, your calorie burn based on your heart rate. And once again, remember, this stuff is not accurate. It can be extremely inaccurate, but it gives us a baseline of what to start with so that we have something to use and then we can adjust it as needed throughout the process. So when I go through my workouts, I usually end up burning close to 500 to 600 calories per workout, and that's working out for almost an hour and a half, usually a little over an hour doing weights and then some cardio after that. And I'm basing this off of the active calories burned because at least on the Apple Watches, it shows you your total calories burned and then also your active calories. So I don't care about total calories, I want active because that's aside from what you would be burning anyways, just from being alive during that time. Almost finished here. See, active, we're not counting total. Just active, and even that is overestimating what I'm actually doing. Because it's 500 to 600, I'll go with 550, and that's typically about 5 times a week, we'll say. So that gives me 2,750 calories. Now I'm gonna divide that by 7, since there's 7 days in a week, and I get 392 calories, okay? So that's an extra 392 calories on a daily basis. So if we go back to the calorie tracker app with 2,154 calories, if we added that 392 to the exercise, now I have 2,546. So I'm just gonna round down to 2,500 because it makes simple math for me, but I like to put those numbers in myself every day for the exercise so that it puts me in the right mindset that I need to work out and prepares me for that so that I keep that as a normal part of my daily routine. And because I do like round numbers, I'm gonna go back in and for my add exercise each day, I'm just gonna put in 346 calories. So I have that even 2,500 because it just makes all the math easier. Since we said before, it's closer to 2,100 since we went between the phone and the computer, and then adding that almost 400, all the math works out pretty close. So for step 3, you need to track everything that you are eating and put it into your app, because you'll be surprised how quick you might just get a snack and think, oh, this isn't that much, but all those snacks add up and can put you over your daily calorie limit. So when I do this, I click on add food, okay, and I always do quick add calories. And I just put in, let's say I had breakfast and it was 650 calories. Boom, that's in there, done. I never go into any of these database food options because all that is based on somebody else doing the math for you and averages of things and will not accurately track what you're eating. For example, say you had a slice of bread that was 70 calories per slice is what the thing says, and you get it. Okay, and you think, okay, this is 70 calories, but what you didn't notice is that it said that 70 calories is based on 26 grams. And if you've got a food scale out and weighed it, well, that bread might actually be 30 grams. And that's a big increase in calories because not everything is completely right when they slice the bread or whatever. It can be with anything you're eating. You need to accurately track it. In order to do that, you need to get a food scale. I'll have a link to one of these that I use in the description. It really doesn't matter what kind you use as long as you use one, but you have to accurately track everything. Don't trust the apps to do that. If you do go out to a restaurant, look at what the calories are listed as for that food and put it in. That's also going to be inaccurate. It's based on averages, but at least you'll be getting it close so that you can see what you're eating. But the big thing to remember here is that what's already preloaded in these apps can be way off. Labels can be wrong and misleading. Make sure you're looking at it carefully so that you can accurately track what you're eating. Put it in here, everything you eat, and you'd be surprised. You might choose even not to have certain snacks if you're like, oh, I don't want to break out the scale and see how much it really is. And the last step of this process is to get a scale and weigh yourself daily. And it needs to be at a consistent time every day. So I suggest first thing in the morning when you wake up, go to the bathroom before you eat anything, before you get dressed, while you're still in your underwear. Make sure it's consistent and write that down in your phone, on some paper, whatever, so you can accurately track what your weight is from day to day and see how it fluctuates. And after 1 or 2 weeks, after you've been consistently tracking what you're eating, logging it in your app, and seeing what your weight is every day, see what's happened. And if your weight's been going up, well, that means we need to bring the calories down. We overestimated, so take it down, a couple hundred maybe, depending on how much you've gone up in weight. Or if you see that your weight's going down, okay, we underestimated it, so now we're going to add 100 or 200 calories until we get to that baseline to see what you need to maintain your body weight. And if your weight hasn't changed, that means you pretty much found the balance between how much you're eating, how much you're exercising, how much you need every day to maintain your current body weight. So if you want to start losing weight from there, maybe up to 500 calories a week, that'll give you up to a pound of weight loss per week, which you don't want to go too crazy and lose a lot of weight every week because you're a lot more likely to rebound off that. You want to stay consistent with a smaller amount and slowly lose the weight, slowly make those changes based on eating the same type of diet but just a little bit less. And I have a lot of other videos with good food suggestions. I'll put some of those up here or there and also down in the description for you to check out. And I have to really emphasize that you need to make sure that you're weighing yourself at the same time every day in the morning before you've eaten anything, after going to the bathroom. Because I have had people tell me before, oh, I ate some pizza and then I gained weight. And I was like, what do you mean you gained weight from eating pizza? Yeah, you ate some food. Well, I was 3 pounds heavier. I was like, what are you talking about? When did you weigh yourself? Well, at 4 in the afternoon. Well, you've already eaten 3 meals and been drinking a lot of water. You're gonna weigh more. I weigh a lot of times 5 pounds more when I go to bed from when I get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, all that good stuff. So if you forget, just don't weigh yourself again until the next day, because your body weight will fluctuate a lot throughout the day based on how much water you've had, how much volume of food you've had. I mean, you could eat a piece of pizza and not gain a lot of weight because it's not heavy, but you have a huge salad with lots of vegetables, that could actually be really heavy and make you weigh even more. So don't worry about throughout the day, just in the morning consistently. But this is the longest step in the process because you have to evaluate over a week or more time frame to see how your body weight fluctuates. But like I said, everything can be very inaccurate, from the trackers, the watch trackers, the app trackers, all these different things, the food labels. Just make sure that you are being as accurate as possible, and then we're using those numbers as a baseline. And this last step of the process is how we're adjusting that to find out what you actually need, because everyone's rate of exertion is different when they're exercising, depending on how hard you're actually going and all those different things. So figure out what works for you, and once you do, you can stick with it, and whether you want to lose or maintain or even gain weight, you can go based off that, and make sure you're not going too crazy in either direction, whether it's gaining or losing weight. But that is my process for figuring out how many calories you need on a daily basis in order to meet your body weight goals. If you do have any questions about anything we talked about, just post them down in the comments, and I'll try to clarify anything I can. And once again, I have all the links to everything I talked about in the description to help you out with that. I have, again, lots of recipe videos we're coming out with, things that can help you feel full while maintaining or even trying to lose weight, because that's the best way to do it. If you're starving yourself, it's gonna be really hard to stick to your diet, and you're probably gonna quit and possibly even rebound, maybe even worse than when you started. But once again, hit that like button if this was helpful, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one.